What's going on, guys? Ben here, Enos Tech, and today we're taking a look at the Be Quiet Silent Bass 600. Now, as you can see, we have the black on black version, which looks really nice. On the front here, there is a tiny gray silverish Be Quiet logo down at the bottom, but it doesn't really affect anything. It looks nice. It adds a little something to the case. On the front, we kind of have the anodized, brushed aluminium black look going on. You'll see a couple vents, one down each side. These are, of course, to help the intake fans pull a bit of air in. Across the top here, as you can see, we have the USB headers. There's two USB 2 and two USB 3 headers, and also the input audio jacks for mics and headphones. The top of the front panel does swing open, allowing you access to three 5.25-inch drive bays. We also have easy access here to a dust filter, which just lifts out, as you can see there, and you can actually clean that as such without having to take the whole front panel off, though the whole front panel is easily removed as well. But in order to remove the front panel, you have to open up the case, and there are some clips on the inside. So we'll wait and do that in a minute. Moving around to the side of the case, what I would call the main side panel, the left side panel, however you want to look at it. There is a nice big window, which, as you can see, does a great job of showing off any hardware you may put inside. Now, you can also, of course, deck your case out with LEDs and such to add a bit of light to make things stand out a bit more, or you can just leave it like this. And as you can see, I think I've done a pretty good job here. It's got the nice shiny silver chrome-ish heatsink going on there, and of course with a reference GTX card below, which go great together on top of that Asus Sabertooth X99 board. It all just goes together good, and as you can see, it looks absolutely amazing, and that window does do a great job of showing off the internal components. Taking a look at the back of the case, and as you can see, there's a little bit going on here. It's nice and spacious. Starting off with the top, it comes with the pre-installed Be Quiet Silentlings 120mm fan. I believe it's 120mm, but right below that there are three pass-throughs for water cooling tubes or whatever if you want to pass them in and out of your case. We of course have the standard ATX motherboard cut out for the rear I/O to the left of that, followed by 7 PCI expansion bays, so you can go ahead and get dual graphics card setups in there, a couple extra USB ports if you've got PCI cards. You can go ahead and put a network card in there, whatever you like, sound card, any of that stuff. To the right of that is just another little ventilation area to help air pass in and out of the case, because this is designed for gaming bit rigs and enthusiast type stuff, so they're predicting there'll be a bit of heat, so every little vented area does help. And of course we have the bottom mounted power supply, which, as you can see, there's a little clip standing out, which if you just pull it, again, it removes the dust filter for the bottom. So as you can see, Be Quiet have done a great job at including dust filters, but also making them easily accessible so you can clean them without having to take your whole case apart or unplug your computer and flip it upside down to reach the bottom dust filter. On to the other side. Normally this is just a blank panel. There's normally not a lot going on here, but Be Quiet have decided to do something different. They've added a little raised plastic bit, as you can see right in the middle with their logo on it, which is actually removable. As you can see, removing that adds this a nice square, and it also shows off the SSDs that are mounted on the back side of the motherboard tray, which is quite nice. As we can see, the top of the case features a nice big power button towards the front, as you'll notice by the USB ports there. And there's also a little bit of a vented area to allow some airflow in, as you can actually mount fans to the top of this case, even though looking at it from here, it doesn't quite really look so. The top panel is also removable by the same clips as the front panel, so why don't we go ahead and just take a quick look at that. As you can see, we've gone ahead and removed the top and the front panels. Again, looking at the top, there is now room to install a 240 or 280 millimeter radiator, as well as some fans if you so decide that's what you're interested in. Now you can put a couple of exhaust fans up there. Seeing the ventilation in the top panel isn't great. Well, it's not a lot, but it will still do a good job, and at the end of the day, it's better than nothing. And for those of you looking for water cooling, you've got the all-in-one coolers, this is where you will put them. As we mentioned, the front panel comes off as well, and as you can see, there is one pre-installed Be Quiet Silent Wings fan, which is nice, though there is room for a second fan there if you want. It's always good to get a bit of airflow moving into the case and through the case to help cool your components down. And that's pretty much it for the outside, the external. So why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at the inside in the final build. Alright, so here it is, the inside of the Silent Base 600 from Be Quiet with a full build in it. Just for reference, that is the Scythe Fuma CPU cooler on top of the Asus Sabertooth X99 motherboard with a reference GeForce NVIDIA GTX 770 GPU, and we of course have the Be Quiet Straight Power 10 power supply down in the bottom. As you can see, it's got a nice open layout to it. On the right is a removable 3.5 inch hard drive cage, which can easily be moved or taken out if need be. Again, there are two 2.5 inch hard drive or SSD drive cages on the back side of the motherboard tray, as we saw. And looking around, there is plenty of room. As you can see here, between the CPU cooler there and the top, there's plenty of room there. That's great, especially if you want to install an AIO cooler. There's plenty of enough room and clearance in there to clear the motherboard. As you can see, looking around again, there's a bit of clearance there between that and the back. Scrolling on down here, as you can see, the power supply there is nice and cozy. There's plenty of room there between the power supply and the hard disk drive cage, so if you wanted to put a little pump or reservoir there, you would have some room to do so. As you can see as well, there are a few grommets around that are great for passing through the cables from the front to the back side of the motherboard tray. I didn't have any troubles with these falling out or anything while doing the build, which is quite nice. They just work well. And overall, as you can see, there's just plenty of room here for everything you could want. I mean, as you can see, easily fit another graphics card in there. So that's great as well. Plenty of room, nice and spacious. Great cable management options. Great storage supply options. As you can see, you've got the toolless 5.5 inch or 5.25 inch drive bays up at the top if you want to put a res or a DVD drive or Blu-ray drive or whatever have you up there. And I mean, that's pretty much it for the Be Quiet Silent Base 600. I am actually quite impressed with this case, and I do like it, especially when the price tag is considered in. If you want to see all my thoughts on this video, you'll have to check back on enistech.com for the written review, which I'll go ahead and leave a link to down in the description once that is live. As always, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch my videos, and please stay tuned in the future for more content.